Well, next, Shane, let's kick it on down to College Station, where we got some pretty good comments here from co-offensive coordinator Dale Dickey and co-offensive coordinator James Coley. But before we get to those comments, Shane, because what they're really centered on is just all the weapons that they have to work with on the offensive side of the ball in College Station. And it's natural. We all do it, Shane. We've been doing it for months. Who's going to win a starting job at Texas A&M? But the more buzz you get out of College Station, the more people you interact with. It's not that the quarterback battle doesn't matter, but I think people have confidence regardless of who that is, even if it's the true freshman Connor Wigman, because if he were to win the job, and I'm not saying he's going to, but if he would, I think you'd say, well, my God, he must be lights out during camp.
Yeah.
But more importantly, he's just surrounded by elite talent. We know Devon Awchain. Hell, you're hyping him up as a dark horse for the Heisman. Anaya Smith, who, hey, his suspension's over. He's on the field. He's leading the way. So one of the best receiver, running back / guys in the country. We've got Evan Stewart, the 5-star freshman at receiver. Jake Johnson, the #1 tight end in the country. This may finally be the offense that Jimbo Fisher has envisioned since he's been down there at College Station. I love hearing these coaches talk about the ability to make a short, simple play and explode it for a touchdown, because really that's the difference in college football is having elite talent. That's what Georgia, LSU, and Alabama have had their national championship years, and it sounds like Texas A&M is finally where they want to be right there, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. You think Aggie fans are pumped up? Listen to these coaches. Clip it and make it a hype reel. These guys are fired up about what they got on offense.
Kind of got the unique position of having coached the quarterbacks and now you're coaching the tight ends. As a whole, how does this offense look to you from your perspective compared to the last couple of years?
Well, as I said, we've probably got more guys with outstanding talent across the board than we've had. Our offensive line is very physically talented, strong, young, but we do have more depth than we've ever had. We got more guys we think we could put in a game up front than we've had at any time. Same thing with tight end. We're kind of back to Jay Sternberger year where we didn't know much about him. He came in and had an unbelievable year. Then he left after that year, and we went with a freshman, Jalen Wiedemeyer, or he emerged through the course of it. We're looking for who's really going to emerge and be the guy, or we would really like to have 2 or 3 of them emerge because we like to play with 2 tight ends in the game a lot of the time. So, again, we're very talented there. We're just inexperienced. The group I'm most excited about is our wide receivers. This is one of the fastest groups of wide receivers, most talented groups of wide receivers I've seen. We do have some experience at the wide receiver position, but we also have some young talent that is going to create a lot of competition at that position. The quarterback race is a very competitive battle. We got some young men that one guy has SEC experience, Max Johnson, but is learning this offense new, and we're very different on offense. So in the spring, they were all kind of – actually, Haynes had a little more, obviously, more experience in this offense, which is, as important as – playing in games. He doesn't have a whole lot of game experience, but he's been on the field in this offense, and he's had the most snaps in this offense. And Connor is just an extremely talented guy, and from what I've seen, he's figuring it out. In the spring, he was just learning the system. He's still making great plays, and he's doing the same thing now. And I think Coach Craig, who played quarterback in this system, will do a great job bringing those guys along with Coach Fisher. So goes back to running back now. I think everybody knows about Devon Awchain and what he brings to us. He's one of the most dynamic players in all of college football. We've got a couple of young guys, Amari Daniels and L.J. Johnson, competing for his backup role. Do not forget about a freshman named Le'Veon Moss. But to sum it up overall, we've got the weapons, we've got the skill. we've got the ability to be an outstanding offense, to be explosive, to be able to grind it out, to be able to do all the things Coach Fisher wants to do from an offensive standpoint. We've just got to figure out who's going to be doing the bulk of it at each position. And I think that competition is going to carry on throughout the season. And, you know, sometimes, having been in this a long time, the younger guys that haven't done it a lot, they're hungrier, and that's what we need. We've got a talented team, and we've got a lot of competition out there, but we need to be hungry. We need to be striving to work for and work for, to gain everything that we possibly can. So it's going to be an exciting year, and we just want it to be a successful year as well.
Coach, what does Evan Stewart add to this offense, and is he the kind of guy that you foresee just making an immediate impact as a true freshman?
Yeah, so far, I mean, he's added his speed is when you're watching it on video or you're watching it in live on the field, it's there. I mean, the DBs feel it. He's explosive, so he's fast in short areas and he's fast with long speed, and that all helps route runners get open. When you can be as explosive as he is. He's also very bright, extremely intelligent. So he brings a really good package to that room, especially as young as he is. And, he's a prideful kid who takes a lot of pride in being prepared and, having his toolbox, his skill set ready to go for practice.
Coach, I know you mentioned a lot of the downfield passing, but how nice is it with this speed now that maybe you can throw a bubble or a 5-yard slant and they can take it to the house? I mean, does that play it different too? I mean, that has to help too, right?
Absolutely. That's still, those are yards you steal, right? Because of the leverage maybe the defense may give you because of who you have in the backfield, right? That guy in the back of the room right there, right? So if they want to be stingy in the box, and you're throwing a bubble out there to a guy who has speed, could be the fastest guy on the team, or could just be a guy who's long and fast and strong and is hard to tackle. So that adds an element to your game, being explosive along with going deep.
I mean, yeah, and how could you not be listening to that? So again, quarterback.
I mean, he went total fanboy, didn't he? He was like, what, offensive linemen? Yeah, we're deep and good. Tight ends, we got 100 of them. Don't know who's going to catch it. Doesn't matter. 5-star talent, Receivers, don't even get me started on these guys. Probably the fastest people I've ever met in my entire life, and I've been coaching forever. So, yeah, no, I'm all in, man. This is making my $100 lock of the year, a little bit more exciting hearing this kind of news coming out of College Station.
Yeah, no doubt. And it just goes back to what I was saying, Shane. I mean, certainly we'll monitor who wins that quarterback race, but may not matter with all the weapons because whoever they put out there, they are going to have a lot of help this fall in College Station. You know what?